After we just had all of the April Mando and Grogu sets revealed, we now have further information on some upcoming LEGO Mandoverse sets and more specifically the Sandcrawler, Imperial Shuttle and Advent Calendar. If you don't want to miss any future LEGO Star Wars news and leaks, hit that subscribe button, and now let's start with the news. Starting off with set number 75456 Star Wars Advent Calendar 2026, which will likely release in September, like every year. And while we don't know anything about the US price tag yet, I've heard that the set will cost about 150 zloty in Poland, which means that it's likely gonna cost about $40 to $45 in the US. While this was all pretty much to be expected, the more interesting info is that the set will be based on The Mandalorian, but not necessarily the movie. Some of the rumored minifigs include a holiday outfit Moff Gideon and holiday outfit Mando, as well as an X-Wing pilot, a Java, an IG-11 droid and a new version of Grogu, which I'm guessing will be one of the two we saw in the April sets. Additionally, there will also be some mini-builds, and according to Childish Landino, it's gonna include some small brick-built creatures like a Bantha, a Blurg, a Maton and a Dewback. According to him, we will also see the Outland TIE Fighter for the first time. This is Moff Gideon's TIE Fighter from Season 1 of The Mandalorian, but I wouldn't expect too much of those builds since it's only an Advent Calendar. It is pretty logical that the calendar will be based on something Mando related, considering that Star Wars is finally returning to the big screen this year, but I'm slowly starting to see some Mando fatigue with all of the releasing sets, and now an Advent Calendar that features a lot of stuff from the earlier seasons. But what do you think of this choice? Are you fine with the calendar being Mando themed, or would you have preferred something else? Please feel free to let me hear your thoughts in the comments down below. But since I just mentioned a Maton, let's talk about the next big playset. Set number 75453 Sandcrawler is gonna release on August 1st of 2026. It's rumored to include 1,683 pieces, 6 minifigures, for a retail price of roughly $200, which doesn't seem outrageous, but it's nothing that I'd consider good either. I also feel like that 6 minifigs are a little weak for such a big set, especially because 3 of the 6 are said to just be some great Javas. To be fair, you also get a new Muddy Mando based on his look in Season 1 with some mud details on helmet, torso and legs, as well as Queel, which I guess will be the same minifigure that we already got in the UCS Razor Crest, and another Grogu. We even got a first sketch of the model from Carter_Briggs04 and CMF6169 on Instagram. According to them, the sketch might be based on an early prototype, so there are things that could change, but this is what the set should pretty much look like. The Maton is missing on the sketch, but there will be one in the final set, and they furthermore add that the Sandcrawler is mostly dark grey with a little bit of tan, brown and light grey detailing, which I honestly don't think is that great of an idea. We can see some details that are based on the show, such as the Java peeking out on the side, the tan sails on top, or even the main color being mostly dark grey, which I would say is partially accurate to what we see in the episode, but I still don't know if the LEGO dark grey is really the right choice for this model. Yeah, the color in the show is pretty dark, but it just seems like a more worn down brown tone instead of grey. Since LEGO doesn't have a wide variety of colors, I can't imagine a scenario where this looks good. This could be another scenario of the Kylo Ren shuttle where it's just not the right color, and I don't think that people will buy this set. But yeah, I guess they had their reasons. It also looks relatively small, especially for $200, but it's at least gonna be a similar size to the last release and not a further shrunken down model. Before you get your hopes up, it was also stated that the sides are covered with studs and you only didn't draw them onto the sketch, so no, this model won't be sleek and covered with plates, which you might think based on the sketch. It overall doesn't sound all too bad, price-wise, and if the sketch turns out to be true, but the whole color decision of making a mostly grey Sandcrawler, I don't really know what to think of that. But now the last rumor for today, and we have some information regarding set number 75459 Mando Imperial Shuttle. The set allegedly includes 961 pieces, 6 minifigures, and has a rumored retail price of $140, which just continues to show that LEGO won't stop overpricing their Star Wars sets anytime soon. The minifig lineup consists of Mando himself, 2 Stormtroopers, Moff Gideon, Dr. Pen Pershing, who finally gets a LEGO minifigure after we needed him for a long time, and Fennec Shand. Sadly, we are still missing the client, who gets played by Werner Herzog, but I guess he doesn't fit the set since it's based on Season 2 of The Mandalorian. I'm all in for a new Imperial Shuttle, especially if it looks better than the last set they released, but the price tag is once again $30 to $40 too expensive, which sucks. I'm a lucky owner of the 2015 model, which I still think is the best playscale version, so I will mostly only be interested in the set because of Dr. Pershing. Now, what is your opinion on the Advent Calendar lineup and the other Mando set news? Did they catch your interest and are any of them on your list? Definitely let me know your thoughts on the set leaks in the comments down below. Now I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would very much appreciate a like to support the channel. If you're new, please consider subscribing. If you want to check out some of my other videos, you can see me on screen right now.